throw balls far. You want good words? Data language.
Talk real sports with a real man.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
And now, here's the be-all, end-all, know-it-all of high school, college, and pro sports. Aaron Skinny Count with the Skinny on Sports.
We're talking about practice, man. I'm the MVP.
Good Garrison Financial Friday morning out there, Western Oklahoma. It's game day for high school football. You can just feel the excitement in the air. Welcome to the Skinny on Sports, 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal. Glad to have you along for the next hour. Scott's in the house. I've got some questions for him. He's got some questions for us. So that'll be fun for the first segment.
My first question is, where the heck have you been?
Hey, we'll get to that. Let's see, some golf. The PGA Tour playoffs were going on. It started yesterday. Also, Korn Ferry Tour finals, 4-week finals, and a couple of Sooners, one local playing really well here to start in the first round and a half or so up in Boise, Idaho. High school football, we'll hit that with the games around the area, some others of note around the state. And, of course, we got Scott right here off the top. 225-9698 is the phone or the text line. That is 225-9698. Give us a call, shoot us a text. We'll talk about any of those things or whatever else is on your mind in the world of sport. Feel free to chime in at 225-9698. If you're going to be outside the listening area one of these days, want to stay in touch with us live, it's easy. Log on to kadsam.com or download the app. The app is free, and you might as well do it right now because it's got everything. It's got radio, so if you want to listen to Big Elk football on Cool 94 tonight, you can do it through the app. You can check out the Penny News while you're doing it. Or if you want to watch the live stream, Big Elk TV and Paragon TV, so you can flip back and forth between the Elks and the Merritt Oilers all night long. Here tonight with that app. Also, the Skinny on Sports podcast is available. If you miss a show entirely, you can go back and check them out each and every day. Jared, Scott, how are you boys?
I'm good. You excited?
I'm excited.
It's game day.
It is game day.
Game day.
I'm good. I am excited. I was angry at you guys on Monday.
How come?
Well, I had an appointment in Hobart, so I was actually going to get to listen to most of your show. And here we are. About to have the first high school game of the season, about to have the first college game of the season, and I had to listen to you two chumps talk about baseball for 30 minutes.
So what did you think about Otani's injury, speaking of?
I don't even know anything about his injury.
That's not really one of my questions. Okay, so I want to start out. I want to ask you a question, you can ask ours, and then I got some follow-ups.
All right.
I saw last night on Facebook, tomorrow is the Diamond in the Rough, which is the 4th annual women's golf tournament. It's a 2-women golf tournament, two women on a team.
Kind of sexist.
Out here.
Men can't play in it,
well,
we won't get into that.
We'll make up for that in September, okay? But anyhow, it's grown every year. This year, a full 72-team field. And about 3-4 months ago, you and I were both approached about participating as chefs in the competition.
Yeah.
I knew there was like 5 or 6 people cooking. I had no idea till yesterday who anyone was besides me.
I don't know. Who we got?
Me, you, and Jimmy Clark, I know, are 3
All right.
of the cookers. I know what Jimmy's making. And after last night, now I know what you're making.
Uh-huh.
And I know what I'm making. I think of the 3 of us, you have made the better choice of food because you are catering to the clientele.
Know your client.
What are you making? Tell everybody what you're going to make.
I am making some smoked salmon and then some smoked salmon dip. So be nice and chilled. Cool little appetizer for the ladies to enjoy as plus they're going to be, get that protein in them and those omega-3 fatty acids, and their brain's going to be optimized for golf, right? The sangria might take them down a little, though.
I'm hoping this 60-degree wind chill blows in a day early and they're freezing and they need something hearty and healthy, like the pork belly burn-ins that I'm making. Tyler Harrison's going to be there. He's making margaritas.
He's making margaritas.
So not necessarily a food.
That's not a food.
He's
Does he
always-
think he can win with that?
No, he's not cooking the food. He's just out there PRing.
Who's judging these? Is it
The women, the
ladies?
players, yes.
Yeah.
The players?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the players are the judges.
So that's why we say know your client. You don't,
That's
you
good.
know?
Yeah. I was just kind of wondering if I
mean,
can just swing on in and
If it was a bunch of 10-year-olds, I'd have hot dogs out there.
Yeah, see, I'd
Chicken
have
nuggets.
chicken nuggets or mac and cheese, no doubt about it. And by the way, not gourmet mac and cheese.
No.
easy
Just-
mac.
The
Just the
microwavable
box.
ones.
Just the box. Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be. I know Monty Tucker chiming in. Jimmy has the secret ingredient of Tucker sirloins. He's making Tucker sirloin kebabs,
All right.
and he's got a little sirloin. I think he's got a little bit of pineapple, onion, pepper
Okay.
going on his. That's a lot to go on a toothpick, but hey,
That is
whatever.
a lot to go on a toothpick. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm scared.
Daryl and Debbie Dunn are cooking.
I might be scared of that one.
All right, it's going to be fun.
So, it'll be a good time.
All right, what's your question? on
Well,
this Garrison Financial Friday.
Here we are, getting into things, and I saw that James Harden was fined $100,000. It's a lot of money.
Well, he drops that in one night at a.
So that's okay. So that's the question. So, what percentage of his salary? Not even his. Okay, yeah, we'll start with that. What percentage of his salary is that?
Let's see, 100,000 divided by what? 45 million.
Well, his salary's 33.
33. Okay. So what? 0.3.
It's 0.003.
0.003. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 0.3 would be 3%. Yeah.
So if you take also his earnings of his endorsements and all of that, which is almost more than double what his salary is. No, excuse me, which is more than what his salary is.
Yeah.
So it almost it more than doubles what it would be. So now it's closer to 0.0015. So my question is this.
So 0.15%. Okay.
So my question is this. What is that in the equivalent to an average Oklahoma household?
Oh my gosh.
What would the fine be?
$4.50. No, 45 cents.
No, it's not quite that. The average Oklahoma household, it would be $71.42.
Okay, what was the average?
$53,000.
Okay,
A
yeah, I
year.
was too low on that. I wouldn't
Yep.
guess it was that much.
Yep. Yeah,
So $71.
$71. However, I mean, you do have to look at it this way. The rookie minimum is only $950,000. So
Yeah.
if you got fined $100,000 and you were only making $950,000, it would.
Now we actually got a fine on
It's
our
hurting.
hands.
It's hurting. Yeah, but I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because you
It's basically
hear
a parking ticket.
well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you hear $100,000, you think, wow, they really stuck it to him there. Holy cow!
yeah, it's a parking ticket.
Where's that money go when they pay it? Just back in operations or other? What,
You mean
where-
the fine money?
Yeah. Where does it go?
That's a great question.
Probably the same place that all the FIFA
Salaries?
money went.
Yeah.
The advancement of the game worldwide.
Sure.
or as the most famous criminal in the country right now would say, China.
Well, ironic because that's where he said all that stuff. That he got
China.
fined.
That's what I was about to say. Is there any chance he actually gets that fine if he wasn't making fun of China or being in China?
It's a very good question.
There's no doubt he mentioned Daryl, in my mind, there's no doubt he mentioned Daryl Morey in China on purpose because of the things that Daryl Morey had to say.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any doubt.
Absolutely. So what do we got this? You're probably already. Oh, you had another question.
I've got a couple questions. What were you wondering?
Nope. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to ask both of you boys. Did you see one of the most amazing feats in the history of sports happened yesterday? 84-year-old Joanne Carner played in the U.S. Women's Senior Open golf tournament. 84-year-old Joanne Carner shot 80 in the first round of the U.S. Women's Senior Open. How comfortable are either of you two with your golf games to just go up to Joanne Carter and say, hey, Joanne, let's play for $10 a hole?
Oh, there's no way.
No way. No way.
That is insane.
84-year-old shot 80, and she's known as a giant smoker. So, you'd see videos of her making a putt or hitting it and walking over it, which I don't know if she got to have a golf cart or not in the video, but it's like, oh, yeah, she's going to go hit a Virginia Slim.
Yeah, it's too bad that they can't advertise tobacco anymore. She'd be making a fortune.
I can actually see the billboards now in Elk City with Joanne Carter and Miss Sizemore side by side for Virginia Slims.
Oh, dear.
Second question I have for you.
Surely they let them ride golf carts.
You'd like
This
to.
is the senior.
Yeah, 84
she's
walking 18 holes.
And that's the
That's a
question. If she's hitting that and walking 18 holes,
well, and here's the deal.
bravo.
I saw
smoking the Slims. I mean, come on.
I saw a video. As soon as she got done, she signed her scorecard. Where was she at? Back on the range practicing. It's crazy.
That's pretty far out.
Oh, here you go. Drew Spitzer's right. Miss Sizemore got kicked off the billboard. How about John Daly and Joanne coming out and playing the tumbleweed, smoking cigs, whipping you?
There you go.
Okay, second question. This one's probably more important. Where is from, let's say, 1 to 10, what is your excitement level for the Steelers?
They won last night, didn't they?
Kenny Pickett has literally a perfect quarterback rating in the preseason.
The biggest kiss of death ever. Oh, we're undefeated in the preseason. Yeah. Great, we're going to lose every game. Am I wrong? Is that not always the kiss of death?
The Ravens, it hadn't been the kiss of death for the Ravens. They had won like every game for 6 years in a row, and they've been pretty good.
Yeah, they've been pretty good. I don't know.
And on the other hand, there's been teams that have lost every preseason game, and they turn out to be really good.
You've got to be at least a little excited, though.
I'm trying to tamper the excitement. I mean, it's been a lot of disappointment for a long time, I felt like we should have won 2 more Super Bowls with Big Ben. But Le'Veon decides to sit out. His career went really well after that. That's my thing. All of these guys that they're like, oh, I'm going to sit out a year. Who has that worked for?
Nobody.
Oh, yeah. Nobody.
Name one player that has worked out well for.
Le'Veon Bell went from probably the best running back in the game at the time
Absolutely.
to a dude that couldn't even play for the Jets.
Yeah. And walked away from $18 million the season that he set out.
Mm-hmm.
So he lost $18 million, and I think he got a 3-year guaranteed contract. I don't remember what it was, how much it was.
It wasn't what he wanted, I can tell you that.
But he didn't get the $18 million. So, yeah. I mean, and it's not just him. I mean, Deshaun Watson's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it was a little different. That was more of a forced set out.
That was a forced set out, but it doesn't work.
So he got 4 years, 52.
4 years. He did pretty good.
So 13 when he wanted 18.
Yeah. But
so answer the question. How excited are you?
I am excited, but I'm trying to lay it low.
Cautiously optimistic
there
is
you
what
go.
I'm hearing.
That's a good way to put it.
Pickett looks amazing.
Coming from a Cowboy fan, I understand.
Hey, listen, Kenny Pickett is going to be in the MVP conversation. George Pickens is already a better wide receiver than anybody in the league. Do you see the brand new TJ Watt they got running around? What's his name? That rookie?
Did you just say that Kenny Pickett's going to be in the
hey, listen,
MVP?
I'm just telling you.
He's throwing,
that's how excited you ought to be.
Yeah.
Or these are the texts I was getting from Possum last night. One of the two.
Oh, okay.
One of the two.
Uh-huh.
After one preseason drive, the very first drive. Look at that. Pickett looks awesome. Watch out.
See, and that's what happened last year. They came out and they beat Cincinnati in the second game. And I was like, whoa, hey, 2-0, just beat Cincinnati. And I think we lost the next 7. So trying to keep it, cautiously optimistic.
The schedule isn't terrible to start.
Yeah.
49ers at home will be
That's pretty.
Speaking, I want to ask. Well, that's going to be my last question.
Trubisky might be quarterbacking after that game.
49ers at home, but it's at home.
Yeah.
Browns at home. Then you go to the Raiders and the Texans, which probably the worst two teams in the AFC.
So probably the three worst teams in the NFL in a row.
With the Browns.
Yeah.
And then host Ravens at the Rams, which I don't think who knows? Is Matthew Stafford even on the planet anymore?
I don't know.
Or is it Stetson Bennett?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, back to the 49ers. What in the hell are they doing? This, to me, I'm not kidding. Hyperbole is easy talking on the radio like this. This might be what they're doing with Trey Lance, might be the dumbest move in the history of the NFL. They gave up 3 1s and a 2 to move up to draft him 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You realize he has only thrown since high school. Since high school, he's only thrown 420 passes in a football game, college and professional. And they act like they gave him a chance to develop.
Yeah.
He got to start a game in the rain.
Yeah.
This is unbelievably dumb. And it's not
and
like
they have no trade value now.
Well, no.
They have none.
How do you not just let him be the backup? Sam Darnold would scrub the toilets just to stay in the NFL.
Yeah.
Let him be the third quarterback.
Yeah.
At least tell him that. This is, I mean, for dudes that are supposed to be the smartest guys in the leagues.
The quarterback guru. And
think about what Shanahan has done. He basically handpicked Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And ran him out of town.
Yeah.
And then he moved up to draft his next golden boy and ran him out of town.
And then he gets Mr. Irrelevant.
And he's got Brock Purdy. I hope, listen, the Brock Purdy thing kept on going last year.
Story.
It kept on going. And anybody that watched him in college is waiting for the house of cards to tumble down.
Yeah.
Because it always does with him.
Yeah.
But he got hurt, so we didn't get to see him throw the game away against Philly. That's coming.
Yeah.
And now instead of having this dude that is ultra talented, it's coming. You're going to have Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sell the 49er stock.
You're selling.
I'm selling it.
Well, I mean, they do.
See, you're talking about the biggest draft bust of all time. Here's Drew on. How do we know? He never got to play. He threw 100 passes in the NFL. That's like 3.5 games. How in the world do we know he was a bust?
Yeah.
We have no idea.
No.
No idea.
And I don't think. I mean, come on now, guys. Let's be completely honest. Ryan Leaf will forever cement the biggest draft bust in the history.
Well, if
of
it's
the
not
NFL.
it's not him, it's Jamarcus Russell
or Jamarcus Russell. I mean, there's not, but yeah, it looks bad. It looks incredibly bad.
It's ridiculous. It is dumb. I mean, the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time from player personnel wise. That you didn't even give him a chance.
No.
And gave up 3 1s and a 2 to not give him a chance.
And not even
for
playing him.
Sam
and not
Darnold.
even playing him in the preseason.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Not even playing him in the preseason.
Ridiculous.
With any members of the team that are going to make the team, they're playing them with the guys that are going to be on the practice squad for the line and so on and so forth. I don't know. Maybe he's doesn't have the personality to get along with Shanahan. I don't know.
It is insane. Insane.
So is Jimmy G going to light the world on fire?
Where at? On the field or off?
On the field.
Because I bet he runs Vegas, baby.
I don't know.
I'd like to be his wingman if I wasn't a married man. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I always thought Jimmy G serviceable. I mean, he took a team to the Super Bowl for heaven's sakes.
Yeah.
Is he upgrade same or worse than Derek Carr? I don't see Derek Carr ever making it to the Super Bowl yet.
And why did the Saints go nuts over him?
Because
they're the Saints.
Got tired of Jameis, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say they did pay Jameis Winston a lot of money thinking that he was going to be the next big deal too. That's one of the things that's unbelievable is some of these guys, the NFL gets so enamored with the talent that they don't see the player. I mean, Jameis Winston, his first year in the NFL, he threw almost 30 touchdowns. He threw almost 30 interceptions.
I think it was like 36 touchdowns and 35 picks or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But I can tell you who's next. I can tell you the guy that is next. There's two of these guys, two of these quarterbacks that are about to be ones that just hold on to forever and ever. One I think is actually pretty good. The other one, I have no idea yet. But Anthony, what's his name? The guy, the Colts. It just shot out of my head. Richardson, yeah. He's going to be. I mean, people are going nuts over him already, and he completed 51% of his passes.
Yeah.
I get it. He's a rookie. Like last night, oh my gosh, he's turning the corner. He was 6 of 17.
Yeah.
But he's big, strong,
He is
fast,
huge.
all that. So that's and Fields, Justin Fields, which I think I liked him as the best out of that whole class coming out. But he's the next one. I mean, already he threw 2 screens that turned into touchdowns a couple weeks ago. It was like, oh my God, Justin Fields for MVP. He threw the ball 8 yards.
Yeah.
Combined.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Kenny Pickett's just up there threading needles. And, I mean, he does. He looks good. He looks good.
I'm telling you, it's going to be.
And the line's still not there either. The offensive line's still not there.
That's your problem. That's your – you –
So then we play the best defensive line in football for the first game.
I tell you what else you've got brewing. It's weird that the Steelers this happens to, but you may have another Le'Veon situation coming.
Really? I mean, after what's his name? I mean, all of these running backs, they're not getting any money.
Yeah, I
so
know.
I mean, who's in their ear telling them that they're going to get money?
Agents.
Well,
or uncles. Or
uncles,
moms.
Yeah.
Grandmas.
Yeah. There you go.
Najee, you're a first-round pick.
Yep.
You need $15 million a year.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
your boy down in Dallas is the one that screwed it all up.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He screws up. You see what he said the other day?
Oh, God.
I think he was kidding. I don't think Jerry gets credit for being a little bit sarcastic here, because I don't really think that he's proud of Sam Williams for only going 66 instead of 98 when he had a bong and a Uzi or whatever else he had in his car. I don't really think he's proud of him, and I don't really think he thinks he's maturing. But Jerry, man, you know how that's going to go. You can't say that.
Oh,
you and Brett Yormark need to sit down in a little room and talk about not saying things time and
Sarcasm
place.
doesn't work.
It didn't work, Jerry. Well, it's never going to work for Jerry.
It's not
because people believe him.
Yeah.
He's like the Joe Biden of the NFL owners.
No, he can enunciate.
And stand and climb up on his plane. Yeah. It's crazy. All right, what's going on down at Garrison Financial?
We're just having a good time. We're getting together with our clients and our friends and seeing what we can do to make their money work more efficiently. There's a lot of great things out there, a lot of great products out there. And yeah, I mean, it's turbulent waters, but there's ways that we can navigate them. So come on down. Let's see what we can do to make your plan better.
I would imagine the next 14-ish months will be a wild ride.
It's going to be nuts.
A wild ride, and not just in life, but financially as well.
You bet.
Trying to figure out what's going to happen next November.
You bet.
No, Scott did not bring us any salmon. That was a question on the text line. It's not ready.
It's not even ready yet, man. It's got to sit in the rub.
All right, Scott.
It's actually going on here in just a little bit.
What was all that on there? It looked like some sort of garlic salt or pepper, or what was that?
What are you trying to? Hey, man, I already gave you my shrimp recipe.
I know.
That was a big
I still
deal
haven't
for me.
made them. I still haven't made it. It's crazy that I haven't.
I mean, don't be asking all my.
That's what I
especially
should have
on the
made.
radio.
Oh, if I'd have known you were cooking, I'd have made your shrimp to beat you.
That would have. I'd have been a little irritable. I would have been a little irritable.
You know, looking back at this, I should have just went and just bought a bunch of shrimp and put them in ice and just had a little shrimp just make a cocktail sauce. Because it's going to be so hot.
Literally not have to do anything but steam them and
That's
throw them in ice.
exactly right.
You're done.
That's right. Or you just buy the ones that are already steamed. But for the late, I just wasn't thinking. I don't know that pork belly burned in is going to go over well with the ladies.
I mean, I'll come by and get some.
That's what Rusty already said that. Well, I'll eat it if they won't. All right, man. Scott at SoonerWealth.com, 124 North Main in Elk City is his address. Garrison Financial.
Go well.
Yeah.
Go Oilers.
It's Garrison Financial Friday. We'll be back, talk about some of that high school football. I asked Jared how excited he is for the college football weekend. He's going to say not very, but he needs to realize he should be. And I'll tell him why next Skinny on Sports right here on the Sports Animal.
Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.
The Skinny on Sports.
Welcome back. It is a Garrison Financial Friday right here on the Skinny on Sports. Scott was just hanging out with us a little bit earlier. Scott at SoonerWealth.com is his email address. 124 North Main is his address. Full financial planning there at Garrison Financial. He'll shop the open market to bring you the best value on your life insurance and your investments. I'll tell you more as we move along throughout the show here this morning. All right, Jared, it is high school football week 0. Some games last night, couple of duds on the two that look like they might be decent, as Union just walloped Westmore, and Bixby hasn't gone anywhere, if you're wondering.
No.
They beat down Owasso. But tonight, the 3 I-40 schools all play, interestingly enough, all on the road as well, with the Big Elks down in Altus. Weatherford goes to Newcastle, Clinton at Kingfisher, and then down in Class A, Merritt's at home against Hinton. Start with the game that we'll be at, Elk City and Altus. We talked about it a whole bunch this week. Coach Maynard was in here a couple of days ago as well. Just for you, though, what are you expecting? What are you looking for as the game moves along tonight down in Altus?
Well, I would obviously looking for the offense to continue what they're able to do best. Of course, that's run it, but we're going to see that out of a little bit of a different formation that we've well documented on this show. So I'm just anxious to see if that can continue. The production offensively can continue with new guys plugged in. And honestly, a little anxious to see what Altus brings. They got their coach back. They, too, are switching up their offense a little bit, but they still look more ground-oriented. So that gives me a lot of interest on the Elk City's defense. And, seeing, they were really solid last year. So just seeing the continuity, the if it can continue. And each year is different from the last. No years are the same, especially when you're plugging in new guys. And I'm just hoping, honestly, Aaron, to have a very boring game with a win. And that means we didn't show a lot, didn't have to, came out, just physically was the better team, and we get out of a snoozer with a win. Does that make sense? We kind of want that. You don't want to, and Coach has said this, you don't want to open up the playbook too early. And you don't want to have to because it's week 0 and you're just trying to get in field goal position for the game-winning field goal. You would hope that you can go down there and take care of business in more or less in a boring game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the very first thing to look for tonight is I think there will be way more emotion from the Elks, or there better be more emotion than what we saw last Friday night to get started against El Reno.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the reason, that's just the way it went. And so I think that'll be the very first sign of, we commented on it all the time last year. It wasn't, some teams you see pregame, flying around, hooping and hollering. That hasn't really been the what's it called? The personality. Mm-hmm. That hasn't really been the personality of the team the last 2 years. A little bit more laid back, but also completely focused. That's the difference.
It's like a business-like approach.
I guess, yeah. Just, and you're just used to, especially like at the end of the stretching, everybody comes in the middle and they're jumping up and down and hooting and hollering and pads popping. That hasn't really been the way it's gone. And so I don't know that that's going to be a difference, or maybe if it's fake, trying to generate it where the guys can sense it. But I think that's, and Coach Maynard said this on Wednesday, the guys on the sideline with the headsets on can only do so much. It's got to be the guys with the helmets on that generate that excitement, that generate the passion and the emotion to play with. And I think that will be when this team really catches its stride, when they figure out who that is, who to follow, and that all starts tonight. I mean, it's a work in progress all throughout the season, just because when you look back 2 years ago, 18 seniors gone. Last year, 18 more gone. So you've got guys maybe that have even played, but not necessarily in that leadership role. And I think that is going to be when this team really starts to take off, as they figure that out amongst themselves and figure out, kind of like you said, that pecking order of guys. So that's what, just the emotion and playing hard and playing the right way, because that's just what we've become accustomed to ever since Coach Meadows came back to coaching here, was physicality, toughness. And I think that's what I can't wait to see, how that kind of starts to transpire throughout the years. And then Altus, kind of an unknown. You would have thought that with Coach Reed back, they would be right back into the flex bone that won him a state title in 2015. Then you flip on the scrimmage against against Weatherford, and they're shotgun 4 wide. And they're going, what?
Yeah.
What? And you watch their defense. It's such a mixture. There's a bunch of plays where they didn't have a guy with his hand in the ground. They're all standing up, back off the line, trying to figure out where they're coming from. So that's going to be a challenge. The one advantage I think the Elks have in that regard is that offensive line. Those dudes have played a bunch of football. And so that can be, adjusting on the fly, I think is reasonable for those guys to be able to do. It's exciting to kind of see the year get going, and I think, to me, the challenge, not only tonight but this year, is continuing to build a program, not just having these quick bursts of success with a certain class or two of athletes and then go right back down. It's to level that thing out to where it's consistently winning at whatever the level is, and then from there, if you're a playoff team every year, or win a game or two in the playoff team every year, then all of a sudden when that short burst happens, what are you doing? You may be raising a gold ball, as opposed to trying to dig yourself out of a couple of disastrous years. So I think that's the challenge throughout the entirety of this year, is just to lay another piece of that foundation to see where it goes and how high it can get to. Weatherford Newcastle, I think, as far as the district games, or the games involving district teams, this got to be the best one of the night, right? With a couple of playoff teams from last year in 4A. Both went out in the first round. Both played pretty well against Elk City was the district champ in District 1, and Newcastle was right there to the end. Weatherford gave Blanchard a game down in Blanchard as well. We know about Weatherford with what they got coming back, but Newcastle, I think, is sneaky with the guys that they have coming back as well. A quarterback back, running back, some guys on the outside, a couple of the linemen. Newcastle, we talked about them this week. I watch out. I think this is a team that got some love in the Tulsa World at number 5 in the preseason. I don't necessarily think that's too far out of line for what they bring back.
Yeah, it's one of the most intriguing ones on my list. Is it's on the road, and I don't think I'd be shocked either way of the outcome. I might be shocked if one's a blowout over the other. I might go, whoa. So that's a big test for Weatherford. It's a big test for them. Newcastle, I've always seen that has size, and we mentioned the quarterback play. And then, of course, Weatherford with that very talented junior class. It's their time to shine for this year and next. So if their quest to get back as state title contenders, everyone's going to circle. You know what Weatherford reminds me of? Kind of like Cushing. Like you can kind of draw it out and go, this is the year that they're going to be really good. And then that was last year, and we saw what happened. Got a state runner-up. But this kind of feels like Weatherford's path, right? Like next year, right? But Cushing was good the year before. Just ask Weatherford. They went over to Weatherford and beat them, right? Am I wrong?
No, that's the year we beat them.
2 years ago?
They were sophomores that
2
year.
years ago, yeah. So, anyways, so if Weatherford wants to make that statement of, we're on our way, this is a good statement win if they can go to Newcastle and win.
Yeah, and I don't know that those kids over there view it like that. I mean, I know we all kind of do, just because you grow as year by year.
Yeah, I mean, you go into every year thinking this is our year. I absolutely understand.
No, but I just think that they're the with what they've shown in basketball, that group. I mean, I know it's really CJ is about the only one, but winning breeds winning breeds winning, and they're a team that. Yeah, they made the playoffs, got beat in the first round a year ago. I don't think they're over there thinking, all right, well, now this year, we can make it to the quarters. I think they're thinking we're going to step up a couple of rungs of that ladder with what they have coming back. 11 starters on defense, 7 on offense. Do have to replace the quarterback. Reese Felines is gone. Stone Chisholm will be that guy. I don't know how bad a trade that is, just from a talent perspective.
The name alone screams football player.
I mean, doesn't it? And we saw him. He was great on defense a year ago.
Yeah.
I didn't play against Elk City, which was a big help to the Elks, to be honest with you. But with Blackman, the running back, C.J. Nixon, Nick Jett, they got weapons, dude. They have weapons. And so that I know I've been touting Newcastle all week, but that's a game that I think if Weatherford is what I think they are, I think they go up there and win.
Right.
Clinton Kingfisher is the one. Clinton, don't they kind of, at the three, don't you feel like they're the one that's shrouded in a little bit of the mystery of what they're going to be? How much better did some of those guys get? How much stronger and bigger did some of those guys get? I'm intrigued to see, maybe not this week, but then after that, with McGinnis and Heritage Hall, kind of where Clinton is against those teams this year as opposed to where they were last year.
Yeah, the common thing I see when the prognosticators are talking about Clinton in their write-ups is simply Clinton is Clinton, and they're always going to be a force to be reckoned with in 4A. And then they just move on. Well, I want to know why. I mean, I want to know individual. There's some good players on that team, and now there's not too. There's been some defectors I've heard. So there is a lot of mystery here of what you can get. I think Higbee is a really good coach. After Lee, they went through a couple coaches trying to find their guy. I think Higbee fits right into the mold of what Coach Lee established back in the early 90s and that historic run. And I think Higbee is a guy that can continue that, obviously winning the title a couple years ago. So, but there's a lot of personnel questions for me, for Clinton, to be honest with you. Who's going to be the running back? We know who the quarterback's going to be. Defensively, they got a guy, his nickname is Bumpy.
Montel Crane.
Crane, yeah. That guy, he's a state champion track, I believe. And the dude's strong. I mean, he's an ox. He's huge. He's going to anchor that defense. But who else, right? In Clinton last year, they kind of felt like OU. They were in every game, outside of maybe one or two, and had chances to win. I mean, most notably the Poto game in overtime. Can they get past that? Can they win those games now? Yeah, I'm with you. A lot of questions for me about Clinton.
Yeah, that's what.
And I mentioned the weather for Newcastle. I wouldn't be surprised either one would win. It'd probably be the outcome that would surprise me. I am a Weatherford lean on that game. Same thing, Clinton Kingfisher. I mean, Kingfisher's a team that's had a lot of success too. I mean, and this is at Kingfisher, and they had a little bit of a down year last year, albeit a winning season, but they were down, and Clinton beat them last year. So I don't know. This is going to be a tough road game for Clinton.
Yeah, Kingfisher 8-4 a year ago. But you're right, it did seem like they weren't what they've been.
They weren't 3A contenders by any means.
Right. Yeah, Clinton's, they're so interesting to me because on one hand you go, golly, Red Tornadoes only got knocked out in the quarterfinals. What in the world? What kind of But then when you look into it a little further, a triple overtime game at Poto, which they had multiple chances to win. Now all of a sudden they're playing the eventual champ, Wagner. You never know how that goes with the who knows what might have happened.
They were heavy underdogs in that game against Tuttle, and then you're right. You never know.
Never know. But it does, at the same time, they also lost to both Elk City and Weatherford for only the third time in the same season since 1988. So it was just kind of a real weird year, I think, for Clinton. But yeah, they beat Kingfisher last year 21-6 on their home field. So now go to Kingfisher tonight. So those are the 3 4A1 games, or at least for the I-40 schools, right down this corridor tonight. And Merritt and Hinton, I have no idea what to expect from the Oilers. I mean, we heard some numbers aren't very big. So, injuries, they can't happen almost out there, bringing up some younger guys. So we'll see, kind of get an idea of what Merritt might be against a Hinton team that's, kind of perennially in that top 10 to 15 in Class A, kind of on the outside of looking in at the real contenders for the state title, but always a really solid team over there in Hinton. So that's going to be an interesting game to see kind of where the Oilers are and how they can improve. What about around the state? Anything else that catches your eye?
I had that pulled up. I mean, we could always go to the big 6A games and comment on those, but I won't. I mean, it is what it is. Cash at Tuttle for district interest, absolutely. Cash and Chickasha, I think, are going to be fighting for that 4th spot. I think we can agree on that. And speaking of Chickasha, they get El Reno tonight. We saw how athletic El Reno can be. Can Chickasha match that athleticism, or did they lose some via graduation? So those two right there.
Debuting the turf at Chickasha tonight.
Very good, yes. They're pretty proud of that. When I was over there covering basketball, talking with their AD,
it looks good.
He was pretty proud to say, "Yeah, we're getting this turf put in," and I was telling him, "Yeah, that'll upgrade your stadium immensely." And I'm happy for you guys. Here's one: Canadian Texas at Seminole.
Yeah, they played last year.
Yeah.
Remember, we were out there getting our stuff set up, and here comes a team rolling onto the field. Remember that?
It was Seminole.
It was Seminole headed to Canadian.
Yeah, they were going to Canadian. They were stopping halfway to.
Yeah, Canadian just beat them down last year.
Yeah, now it's at Seminole. So is Canadian going to stop here and warm up? Or?
Maybe they go a little further east. You know where I'd stop if I was them? Catfish Roundup. Exit 200. Right off I-40.
There you go.
Right as you turn south to go to Seminole, I would stop at the Catfish Roundup. Have a couple of apple fritters with that jelly. All-you-can-eat catfish. It's a good spot. I'm just telling you. Or you could stop at Simon's, but they'll be through here too quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'll be a little early.
Yeah, they'll be too early.
It won't be busy, though. I probably won't that early.
Be a little too early for there, but that's where I'd stop.
How about you? Any games to stand out for you?
Yes, it was in 5A. Who was it? Coweta Carl Albert.
Yeah.
That was a game that Coweta won last year. So,
you know why it doesn't interest me? Carl Albert, man, they're gonna run through them. Yeah, I'm interested just to see the OU guys and what they do. But
McAllister Broken Bow, how about that one?
Could be fun.
And yeah, Cash Tuttle. I think we probably both expect Tuttle to roll pretty easily there. But if not, what does that mean? Does it mean Tuttle's not as good as everybody thinks, or does it mean Cash is way better?
Well, they're replacing a lot too, but they're kind of in the same vein of like Clinton. It's Tuttle. They got a history of winning and reloading. So, but that's when I always say you can upset somebody is when you are reloading a lot, and kids are trying to get acclimated to that varsity level, that speed of the game. If a team can come in and maybe pull some razzle-dazzle, maybe pull off an upset. But, yeah, that's a good question. What, even if it's like a 3-point win for Tuttle, does that give us – does that say, well, Cash might be pretty good, or is Tuttle down?
Yeah.
We do that every year, right? When we see scores after week 0 and week 1, we go, what happened there?
Yeah, I'll never forget looking last year going, what? Woodward beat Bethany?
Right.
Whoa, maybe the Vite magazine was right, and Woodward is the second best team in 4A1. Yeah, maybe not.
Or Wagner when they lost to
Coweta, wasn't it?
Coweta.
How about Coweta beating Wagner and Carl Albert
Right.
in the non-district?
And then we started thinking, well, maybe Coweta's a team.
Yeah, and then they could.
And
they
then
got
Carl
beat
Albert
by-
and Wagner go and win titles.
Yeah, I think a game that would have been this one may be a little bit for yesteryear, but the names are cool when you hear them. Pioneer at Shattuck. That just screams a good football game.
Yeah.
There was another one like that. It was in Class A. Where did it go? It was Cashin into a Cashin at Rejoice Christian. That just sounds like a fun game. That sounds like a good football game with those two teams, those two names.
You know, we got a rivalry right off the bat.
Cordell and Sayre.
Cordell and Sayre. Thomas at Watonga tonight, maybe be good. Thomas has been down. Just for local interest, CBA is at Surreal.
Now, Hollis off this week. They'll start next week.
Hollis is off, yeah.
All right. Don't forget, 8 o'clock tonight. 8 o'clock start. Game has been pushed back an hour because of the excessive heat down in Altus. So we'll have the Big Elks in Altus, 8 o'clock. That's a 7:15 pregame show. Merritt and Hinton stayed at 7. So Paragon TV for Merritt and Hinton. I think James Pruitt, former Merritt Oilers, on the call out there tonight. We'll be back to wrap up a Garrison Financial Friday.
Hello, my name is Scott Garrison. You may remember me as Scott the Barber or just as Ron and Carla's son. I've been involved in our community since opening Scott's Barbershop on the southeast corner of 3rd and Main in 1998. Now I'm back in the same building as Garrison Financial. I started investing in my 20s. I invested through the dot-com crash and the Great Recession. I started caring for other people's money in 2018, and I truly enjoy sitting down with my clients, understanding their wants and needs as well as what keeps them up at night. Whether my friends just want me to invest a little of their savings or want me to work with their tax and legal professionals to strive towards optimal efficiency, we can do it all. I believe communication is key to helping my clients reach their goals. For if we are faithful over a few things, we shall be given more. Contact me at scott@soonerwealth.com. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Garrison Financial and Cambridge are not affiliated. This communication is strictly intended for individuals residing in the states of Colorado, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Texas. No offers may be made or accepted from any resident outside the specific states referenced. Cambridge does not offer tax and legal advice.
The Skinny on Sports.
Welcome back. Skinny on Sports, 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal. Wrapping up a Garrison Financial Friday, Game Day Friday. Kickoff of the high school football season in Oklahoma Friday. Scott can manage your investments, or if you're one of those people that likes to kind of dabble, watch the markets, play the markets, but you're just not real sure how to get started, he can build you a plan, charge you hourly, and then you can manage it once you start feeling comfortable with what's going on there. Also, he'll work with your accountants to streamline all the tax ramifications, get all the returns necessary filed in a timely fashion. Help your accountant do that as well. Scott@soonerwealth.com, 124 North Main in Elk City is his physical address. I am worried about his dip, about his salmon dip.
Worried that it's going to beat you?
Yes. Feels like he's playing to the audience better than I am. And with the heat, you know, I'm this way too. My wife is definitely this way, but the hotter it gets, the less you want pork.
I never really thought of it like that. Heat really doesn't affect my appetite.
It does me. I mean, like in the summertime, there's a whole bunch of days where it's so hot. Just if I could just have like a turkey and cheddar or ham and cheddar sandwich with the fresh tomato, I am good to go. Or a BLT.
I mean, what is it about when you're in the dead of winter? It is cold as it can get outside, and you want ice cream.
Because ice cream is delicious.
Well, ice cream's good year round. I guess that's what that is. But some would say, why would you want ice cream? Don't you want hot chocolate or something? No, but in the summer, it doesn't bother me. I don't care what. If I'm hungry for something, I'll eat it. I don't care how hot it is outside.
Well, hopefully everybody's hungry for pork belly burn-ins.
You're killing me with all this food talk today.
Hopefully the ladies are hungry for those.
Or just find a reason to come out there and sample everything. Will that be frowned upon?
I don't know. Probably not. I'm going to need some help setting up. You available at 6:30 or 7 in the morning?
That's a negative.
Get everything set up. My wife she's taken, what do you call that? Oh, when somebody makes a movie based on a book, they kind of change it. What do they call that? Artistic.
Creative.
Yeah,
Art. Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Well, she's taken that as far as my the booth or whatever you want to call it, where I'll be stationed at.
Uh-huh.
I've got a card table that she's went and bought pink tablecloth for. Pink napkins.
So she is.
We're gonna have flamingos.
This is a good idea. I like all this.
Well,
It feels like kind of. I mean, it's all about presentation.
that's
what
you
I'm
eat
hearing.
with your eyes.
I like that. I saw somebody who is really, really smart about restaurants, and he said, if you think about it, you're not selling the food, you're selling the reaction.
Yeah. Creative license. Thank you, Scott.
So if you can go in, and if somebody takes a bite and they go, whoa, people around are going to go, what's he having?
Yeah. See, and that's so. If you ever watch those barbecue competition shows, like where they actually go, like right now on Food Channel, Michael Simon, it's called Barbecue USA.
I've seen that. I haven't watched. I've seen.
So
that
he just
advertised.
literally goes around to all these barbecue contests.
Oh, I love
It
that.
kind of
idea.
shows what they're doing and how they're doing it a little bit and this and that. They all talk about. So in the judging, they only are allowed. The judges are only allowed one bite of every entry. And so they just one bite. So if you make you make ribs, the judge is going to get each judge is going to get one bite of your rib, one bite of your brisket. And so they pack the flavor differently than they would if they were just cooking a rack of ribs for me and you, because the flavor is so intense you couldn't get through a whole rib, but you only get one chance, right? You only get one. So that's kind of what we're doing, because it's just a bite-sized toothpick. So this is a different thing than I've ever done.
Yeah.
So I put way more rub.
You want that taste to really hit.
Yeah, and just you want it to be
stand
so
out,
much
yeah.
more uniform. Because you think about if you don't get everything on there evenly, you might take a bite on this side of the bone,
Yeah.
and it tastes one way, and a bite on the other side. You want it all to be so uniform that no matter where you bite, it's
Right.
the same.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right, how
Yeah.
excited are you for college football starting this weekend?
Well, I mean, I will watch the Notre Dame game. I'm making time for that. I didn't understand the question when you were going before the break, when you're teasing it.
Yeah, so I figured you
But
were.
I am excited about that game, and only that game. There's other duds in week 0. Most typically there are. But that's the standout game for me to watch. And I got nothing going on tomorrow other than I'm going to try to get up early and mow and then sit down and watch this game.
Yeah, the names, the two teams, the location.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
And the fact that it's the first one.
Right.
The bigger thing, you ought, if you're a fan of the Crimson and Cream, you ought to be super excited about this weekend. One, there's always, no matter how small a chance it is, and it's minuscule, there's always a chance that Tebow and his team could lose because they're playing.
I mean, they still have to play defense, so there's always that chance.
But
that they
more
lose.
importantly, after what happened yesterday, I think everybody knew that Andy Bass, which is he's the quarterback, do everything for Heritage Hall, going to be who knows what at Oklahoma. He committed as we were getting done with the show yesterday to the Sooners, but out of nowhere. This was not a scheduled thing. This just happened. The brothers Bowen will be coming to the secondary near you as Eli Bowen, little brother of Peyton Bowen, committed to Oklahoma last night as well. That was kind of a shocker.
What kind of recruit is he?
He's a 4-star top, not as highly recruited, not as highly regarded as his brother, but it ain't one of those situations where this dude's getting a scholarship because his brother is here. He's getting it on his own merit. He's not quite as big yet as his brother. But no, he's definitely a guy that people were after. OU beat Texas. It kind of came down to those two at the end, Oklahoma or Texas. And Eli Bowen chooses Oklahoma. And then we get to tomorrow. I hate to over-exaggerate what tomorrow means to the future of OU football because you never know exactly how good these guys are going to end up being. But what it could be is kind of that seminal moment in the building back of this program that leads to other things. And that is David Stone is going to commit tomorrow at halftime of the IMG Academy's season opener. David Stone is a 5-star defensive tackle that grew up in Oklahoma City. This is a dude that should be as easily gettable for a big-time D-line commit as it will ever get for Todd Bates and Brent Venables. And coming off the sting of what happened with Williams-Nwaneri a couple weeks ago, there will be a massive meltdown in Soonerland if David Stone, who is the number 6 player overall on the ESPN 300, top 10, I think, in Rivals, and he's at a spot where OU is sorely needing to improve going into the SEC. It'll be Meltdown City about 6:30 tomorrow night if David Stone chooses, and it looks like it's just either going to be Oklahoma or Miami.
Michigan State out of the running.
Pretty much.
They were considered favorites for a little bit, so now they've completely dropped off.
Supposedly, Mama wants Miami, and the kid wants Oklahoma.
Well, that didn't fare too well with the last big recruit.
Well, I know that
you remember that scenario?
I do, but I know this. Mama was wanting a lot bigger presentation. The kid just wants to say where he wants to go. All signs point to Oklahoma here, outside of the PTSD that Sooner fans have dating back to, what, Gabe Dendy, then David Hicks, then Will Nwaneri, and now here to David Stone. And of all those meltdowns, this one will be worse. You know why? This is a homegrown kid. Yep. Even though he's at IMG, this is an Oklahoma kid who has been to Oklahoma 30 times, whatever it might be.
Right.
He has been there over and over and over and over and over. I just will not believe that he's – here's why. One, I think he just – it's in his heart, right? He just wants to go to OU. But two, I think that the tipping of the hand happened a couple weeks ago when his teammate, Jaden Jackson, out of absolutely nowhere, committed OU. You cannot convince me that he didn't do that because he knows what's happening tomorrow. Now, after I sunshine pumped, now, Jared, with your pessimistic look on your face, tell me why I'm going to be wrong.
Well, I didn't know about the mom thing, and moms have a lot of pull.
Yeah. Tell that to Landon Collins' mom.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah. So there's a little bit of that. I guess I'm kind of like Scott on his Steelers. I'm just kind of, all right, I'm not going to get overly worked up about this on Friday at 10 a.m. I'll wake up tomorrow and then, I'm going to be highly interested in it. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and move on. But if it happens, that's great. Typically when you're excited like this, it typically happens. So maybe I'm getting a little bit more optimistic about it. But with the recent history of recruiting high-level players on defense, especially at this position, it has not gone well. So maybe I'm kind of a little pessimistic about it.
It'd be different if Oklahoma was losing guys from Oklahoma before. They haven't.
Yeah.
This is the first time they've had one in their own backyard. Even, like I said, even though he's playing football in Florida right now. I just won't believe the Jaden Jackson thing, ever since that happened, I've just convinced myself that there's only one reason that happened the way it happened is because David Stone said, listen, bud, I'm coming too.
Is there a way to watch this game?
Yeah, it's on ESPN 2.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you say that? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't. It's on ESPN 2. I think
what time?
6:30-ish, I think, is when the halftime is.
So they'll kick off at what, 5:30?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that?
Yeah. IMG, I can't remember who they're
All
playing.
right, well,
Another pretty good
it's
team.
like a full day of football for me, or at least from 1:30
Till the end of that.
Yeah, end of that, yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, listen, I'll have my pitchfork and whatever else out on Monday if this doesn't go the way that I think it should or will. But this will go a long way in cooling everybody's jets. And then we'll turn our attention to Dominic McKinley, number 30 in the ESPN Top 300, also defensive tackle. He's down to OU and Texas.
Hey, I tell you, I bought a new koozie yesterday. It came with a 12-pack of that new OU beer.
I can't. Okay, you're gonna have to try one this weekend.
I put it in the fridge because
that way we have a full report.
Get it from the liquor store.
Because here's the deal: everybody that's listening is wondering, and maybe they want to rush out for next weekend too. But we need to know what it tastes like first.
Yeah,
you've got it. Be the guinea pig.
Do I want to wait until game day, or maybe I'll crack one open tomorrow?
Do it tomorrow. That way you can tell us about it.
I'm going to do it the right
Monday.
way. I'm going to put it in a chilled glass,
yes.
and I'm going to.
By the way, have you looked at the Western Oklahoma Realty College Pick'em lineup?
I have not. Like the participants?
Yes. Second page, first name. Travers picks. You think Jim is playing our contest?
Text him up. Find out.
I noticed that today.
I hope so. That'd be great.
Has Jim entered our contest? And if he has, this is you guys' chance to beat him. The ones that he irritates in the afternoon. Have a chance to beat him. ESPN's website, Skinny on Sports, Facebook page. We've got the link there. I'll probably send that out one more time before next Saturday. You got clear till next weekend. Just get involved. $400 to win. $400. You don't have to pay anything.
Easy money.
Easy money. Come get involved.
You pay more for a lottery ticket to lose.
Yeah.
This is free.
You've actually got a chance to win this one. And if you're the worst, you still win. Everybody have a great Friday. 8 o'clock tonight for the Big Elks, 7 o'clock for Merritt.
You've been listening to the Skinny on Sports podcast with Aaron Cow. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to get alerts of when the latest podcast is available. Thanks for listening.
That ball is blistered to right. Way